Welcome to Instablog's Global Report. This is Sukhmani with fresh updates and more citizen voices from all over the world. Stories for the day are: US relaxes visa rules to bring a surge in tourism industry. Pakistan revives tribal militias to fight the Taliban. Japanese continue whaling in the name of research. An elite squad paints a grim picture of violence in Brazil. In an attempt to bolster the country's ailing tourism industry in the wake of global financial crisis, the US federal government has decided to add South Korea and 6 Eastern European countries to its list of places whose nationals will be allowed to visit the United States without a visa. CJ Prince Campbell believes that international travel is absolutely critical in supporting US economy at this hour.
This is Prince Campbell, citizen journalist reporting from the US on Instablogs. The American might is melting in the heat of the current economic recession. The financial setback has compelled Uncle Sam to extend an open-hearted invitation to potential visitors from countries that would have otherwise resisted tooth and nail. In an effort to ease the pressure of the economic downturn, Americans are now looking toward tourism. U.S. tourism has therefore decided to ease the visa rules through the expansion of the visa waiver program. If you happen to be a traveler from the Czech Republic, Hungary, Estonia, Lithuania, or South Korea, you will be allowed to visit the U.S. now for 90 days without visas. International travel is absolutely critical to supporting America. The economies worldwide have slumped. They have eaten into both foreign wealth along with American wealth. With the financial crisis, people are generally going to be very careful about traveling now, since it's going to be more expensive because of higher energy prices and the rising US dollar. Though this is worrisome, the prospect of any hike in overseas travel at this point is likely to ease financial pressure and is therefore very welcomed.
Pakistan, a frontline US ally against Al-Qaeda and Taliban militants, is now encouraging Pashtun tribesmen on the Afghan border to revive traditional militias to counter rising Islamist militancy in the region. CJ Karim Khan thinks help by tribal militias will certainly aid in uprooting Taliban from the region.
This is Karim Khan, citizen journalist on Instablogs from Pakistan. Calling for organized action by local tribesmen is indeed a very clever strategy for uprooting Taliban groups in the tribal areas of Pakistan. The tribesmen are armed, they know their home grounds well, and they are motivated for action against terrorists. Joining hands with Pakistan's military forces and foreign support against Taliban can yield promising results in the immediate future. The need of the hour is to run intensive campaigns of awareness and establish understanding between local tribesmen and military and foreign agencies in order to make quick and effective action possible. This will not only cleanse the tribal belt of terrorists, but also create new channels for the development of these backward areas.
Both international condemnation and media criticism have completely failed to stop Japanese whaling. Instead, they have only led to a name change in the purpose of the killing from commercial to research whaling. CJ Zach Pena suggests a counter-strategy to fight whaling in Japan.
This is Zach Pena, citizen journalist reporting from Japan for Instablogs. As the aging Japanese whaling industry continues its intrepid struggle to justify itself in Japan, the question of whether the purported research killings carry any scientific value has been raised time and time again by protesters. Furthermore, with refrigerated storehouses full of uneaten meat, the industry is running out of excuses to keep the general public believing that they enjoy eating whale. However, a new, backwards protesting strategy has emerged from the wake of another whaling season picking up speed. Let them do it. Support it. Author and environmental activist Mark Brazil suggests that in order for the government-subsidized whaling industry to see the senselessness of their hunts, the protesting public only need to promote the sale of whale meat. Call the government out into full disclosure accountability. Contrary to suspicions that the meat is heavily laden with inedible levels of mercury, if the government is backing it, the meat must be safe, right? In a country whose food industries have been ravaged at all levels by scandal after scandal, perhaps blatant opposition isn't the best way to back the government into a corner and invoke change.
Brazilian filmmaker Jose Padilla's action thriller Elite Squad has stirred controversy since it premiered earlier this year for casting light on the vicious cycle of violence in Brazil and how the police institutions turned individuals into corrupted cops. CJ Celso thinks that Jose Padilha may have gone too far in portraying violence within Brazil.
This is Celso, citizen journalist reporting from Brazil for Instablogs. One of the main features of Brazilian cinema is the realism, or new realism. Elite Squad from the movie maker José Padilha is no exception to this rule. The only problem is that maybe he has gone too far on his film. This movie, turning in large part in real slums, caused most diverse reactions of the Brazilian public, from laughter to horror. Beatings, suffocation, threat of rape, bloodbath, and the constant state of fear in this movie have made many international critics pointing to Elite Troop as a film that is favorable to fascism. But this is not true. The fact that violence be banalized in Brazil stems from the more than 40,000 homicides that occur annually here. Cinema is art, fiction, the reality that is brutal. After all, a movie is just a movie, and this one particularly reflects what happens in a sick society.
If you want your voice to be heard by millions, let Instablogs be your choice. You can contact us at cj@instablogs.com. That's all for today's show. We'll be back with fresh updates and more citizen voices. Till then, it's goodbye from the entire team of Global Report.